Young Mr. Chandler. May I call you J.R.? Last week you were scheduled to appear before me to face charges that included interfering with an arrest, attempting to bribe a police officer, and assaulting a police officer.
Your Honor, in light of the fact that Officer Perry has failed to appear, I move that the charges against my client be dropped.
Officer Perry was given a personal day to attend the funeral of a family member, but his sworn affidavit speaks for him. I'm sorry to see that the list of charges against you has grown. Failure to appear in court, operating a motor vehicle without a license, reckless endangerment. J.R., I find your blatant disregard for the law most disturbing.
Your Honor, no one denies that my son has made some rather bad judgment calls, but there are extenuating circumstances. If you would indulge me for just a moment...
Mr. Chandler, it's understandable that you'd come to your son's defense. But I've heard your version of events. Now I'd like to hear what your son has to say for himself. Young man? Your academic record was excellent until you were suspended from school for cheating. Since then, you've had several run-ins with the law. Can you tell me what triggered this sudden downward spiral? How does a boy who's never had any real serious trouble explain such reckless, self-destructive behavior?
I don't know, sir.
You can do better than that.
Look, I messed up. Okay, I mean, the whole thing with the car accident, I realized that I could have hurt somebody, or even killed my sister or her baby.
And how does that make you feel?
Sorry. Extremely.
You risked your own life as well as your sister's.
I don't know. I guess my head wasn't just wasn't screwed on straight or something.
Did that have anything to do with your outburst in my chambers?
Look, when I saw my mom standing up for Dr. Hayward, I just flipped.
That's all you have to say in your defense.
Your Honor, if I may, the situation J.R. finds himself in is the direct result of his mother's own reckless behavior.
Wait a minute, I never said it was my mother's fault.
Dixie Martin has been a responsible parent figure to J.R. for most of his life.
Parent figure? I'm his mother.
However, she chose to abandon her parental responsibility so that she could indulge in an extramarital affair. This woman is an unfit mother.
I am not an unfit mother.
Mr. Shire, might I remind you, this is not a custody hearing.
I realize that, Your Honor, but you asked why this ordinarily well-behaved young man started having run-ins with the law.
If such reasons exist, this court wants to hear them.
Her affair with the infamous libidazole poisoner was the source of tremendous stress and embarrassment for my client.
Call Barry off. Do you see what he's doing, J.R.?
Was unable to provide the guidance, the moral guidance that her son craved at this particular stage in his life. Now, Your Honor, is it any wonder
I'm serious.
that
Call
this
him
young
off.
man, so troubled, would vent his frustration, his rage, his resentment towards his mother with these acts of unlawful mischief? They were cries for help. But it's hard to hear cries for help when you're cavorting with your lover in his hotel room. If Your Honor is looking for the true guilty party here, it is Mrs. Dixie Martin.
Oh, why don't you shut up? For God's sake, you're out of order. Judge Stanton, forgive me. I'm sorry. I apologize. I mean no disrespect for you or your staff. It just seems to me that you've heard this little aria about Dixie's guilt before, and you got to trust me, sir. It's just a patented load of dreck.
Your Honor, this man has no business at these proceedings.
I have as much right to be here as you do, and you know it. I helped raise that boy. I've loved him as my own since he was a week old, and I don't care what the law says. I am every bit as much a father as Adam Chandler. And as far as Dixie Martin is concerned, she is the best possible parent that he could ever hope for.
Your Honor?
Just sit. Please.
Your Honor, as I was saying when we were
What
interrupted...
you were doing was regurgitating the same bloat of spume he always pays you to regurgitate. Why don't you shut up and sit down?
The judge will determine that.
I can speak for myself, Mr. Shire. Sit down. Mr. Martin, it is my understanding that you and your wife are separated.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yet you're here to speak on her behalf.
No, my wife doesn't need me to defend her. I'm here to speak on Junior's behalf. Because he's angry, and he's very disappointed in us, and he's hurt. But that doesn't change the fact that Dixie has always, always, always been there for him, no matter what, when other people weren't. Because I can assure you, when he was 6 years old and he had the croup, it wasn't Mr. Shire over there that spent the night on the steamy bathroom floor reading soggy comic books, praying he would take a decent breath. And I'm fairly sure that Mr. Adam Chandler never lost a moment's sleep chasing monsters out from under his bed. Although there were times, I swear, you had a couple on the payroll. Now, our son, is trying to escape, and that makes perfect sense because his family is just falling apart. It's coming down around his ears, and he never got a vote. And he's in pain. But it doesn't make it right to blame Dixie for whatever he does wrong. It's patently ridiculous to make her the scapegoat because the one constant in that boy's life is sitting right there. Your Honor, I swear, her heart, her soul, her love, her sense of humor was the very core of our family. Yeah, she's made some mistakes, but so have I. And so is this one over here. Trust me, he's made some mistakes. But I don't think that the purpose of this hearing is to sit around and point fingers and start screeching at one another. I believe what we're doing here is trying to help JR. Because you're young, and you're scared, and you're in big trouble. I know, because I was once there myself, but I was lucky. I was adopted by a family that was prepared to do anything they had to give me a real home. And I swear to God, Your Honor, that is exactly what that woman is to her boy. And shame on you, Mr. Shire. And you. Even trying to insinuate otherwise.
I find your recent actions and your disrespect for the law most troubling. Such behavior cannot go unaddressed. Son, it's a fact that life isn't always fair. When it knocks you down, you may be tempted to hit back. I urge you to resist the temptation. Because in the long run, you're only hurting yourself. Life has a way of evening out if you give it a chance, which is why I've opted to give you a chance to do right by yourself and the people who love you and believe in you. I'm sentencing you to 6-month probation, provided you receive weekly counseling and perform 50 hours of community service. I don't want to see you back here again. Court dismissed.
We won.
Well, I think everybody won. You were wonderful.
I guess you inspired me.
I didn't think you were going to come. I just said you had a meeting.
I thought I should reschedule considering how much JR needed me.
You wasn't the only one.
I just want you to know one thing. No matter what we're going through, nothing is more important to me than our family.
You know, I thought for a while that maybe JR didn't need us anymore. Maybe he'd outgrown us. But I don't think so. she's incredibly fair. She's not off the hook. You have to do community service and counseling.
I know, Mom.
You know I miss you an enormous amount. I really want things to be back the way that they were. I love you, you know? You know, it's okay to admit that you miss me.
Dad was your first Mom.
He did us proud.
What do you think this means?
I think it means that he loves you. And that he's always going to be here for you, no matter what. Just give him 5 minutes.
Can't afford it. Well, son, shall we go? Lucretia's got a victory dinner prepared.
Actually,
All your favorites.
Adam, I was hoping that JR might come home with me now.
JR's made it quite clear he prefers to live with me.
He'd be better off in juvenile detention.
You stay out of this, Martin.
I don't think so.
Your marriage to Dixie is fractured beyond repair. Liza and I can give JR the stability that he deserves.
Oh, yeah. You're a regular model of stability. Just as rock solid as the Dow Jones and twice as predictable.
Now listen, I think that JR and I just need to spend some time together so he can sort of find his way back to me, you know?
Dixie, I think the next time you get that lost, you should eat the breadcrumbs and buy yourself a roast.
Long day, huh?
Yep. Junior is coming home with me.
I guess you're relieved, huh? Oh, yeah. You know, you do have a lot of people who really love you. Thanks, Liza. Excuse me, I'm gonna get something to drink.
How you doing, pal?
Good.
Listen, I know we have a lot of things to talk about and a lot of things to settle. If you come home with me, we can start to try to be a family again. Do you want to just give it a try?
You don't have to worry about me, Mom. I'm not gonna wrap a car around another guardrail.
I believe you. But I don't think that I've been there enough for you like I should have been, and I'd like to make it up to you.
You don't have to. Really.
JR, who do you want to live with?
My stuff is already at Ted's house, Mom. So I guess I should just stay there.
Well, now that's settled. Let's go home and celebrate.
Thanks, Dad, for everything you said.
I meant every word.